Stories help us to understand the world around us. They allow us to laugh, they allow us to cry, they give us the ability to feel and provide us with an outlet to heal. Join me as I get to know some of the amazing people behind the stories that we read in order to truly discover the story that has been hidden within each of us. My name is Bre Smith, and this is the Author Push Talk Show. Welcome to the Author Push Talk Show. I'm your host, Bre Smith. Today we have an incredible guest. Her name is Rae Lee. She's going to be talking about her children's book, Big Trucks, Big Trucks. I cannot wait to hear more about this. So welcome to our show today, Rae Lee. So can you tell the people a little bit more about yourself?
Yes. Again, my name is Rae Lee. I am the author of Big Truck, Big Truck. I am a children's author and also a writer. And I am from the Midwest, and I love writing, reading, and all that great stuff, and anything that's fun and educational.
Amen. What part of the Midwest are you from?
Illinois, not Chicago, but like the southern part. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I grew up in Louisville, Kentucky. So
okay, up the road, down the street, neighbor. Okay.
Okay. I live out here on the East Coast now, but yes, still feel like I'm more Midwestern than Southern. Everybody's like, oh, Kentucky South. I'm like, I live right across from Indiana, so I consider myself Midwest.
Because we know those Southern Kentucky folk are a little different. So
way different. Yes. Well, I also know that you are a counselor too. So yes. Do you do children? Do you specialize in children counseling, or do you do like more adult counseling?
More adult counseling. I love working with children. I have done counseling with children, but I know that my specialty is more with adults. And I'll say that I'm really good with children, but that is a population where you can't just save all those kids and take them home with you. So, I have to be mindful of, making sure I have boundaries there when it comes to that, because some of the things the children are going through in their homes or in foster care or something like that, it's a lot to take in, and you don't want them to leave because you don't know sometimes they're going to be safe, So I realize that that's probably not my area.
Right. And it's so funny you say that, because I know this is so funny how the Lord brings everything back full circle. But when I first went to college in undergrad, I actually got my degree in psychology. And
okay.
Sitting there saying, at that time, I was like, do I continue on? Do I continue doing psychology? Do I go on social work? And then I sat there and said, you know what? I don't want to take these people's problems home with me. Said I don't want that, because I feel it's going to be a burden, right? So anyways, long and behold, I ended up working my way up the corporate ladder. And, at that point, I don't feel fulfilled. I feel burnt out. And I realized I'm really like counseling my employees. I'm not at that point really. I'm leading them, but I have to counsel them. And I'm like, I might as well just kind of switch and start using my degree. And so after that, after I came out of the corporate field, I actually went into therapeutic day treatment counseling in the school system. Now, mind you, I never wanted to work with kids. I did not, because of my own trauma growing up. But I was just like, man, look, I can do adults. I ain't trying to handle these kids. And then this in the middle school. But what I found was I loved it. I loved work. Wow. But like you said, I felt like there was a lot of issues that I saw that the school system wasn't providing, even within our own services, that we were not providing for those children. And me being me, trying to be like superhero, I'm trying to take on all these issues, and I'm like, sis, these ain't your kids. First and foremost, these ain't your kids. That's true. You know what I mean? And secondly, you can't do that by yourself. Like that's still the responsibility of the parent. That's still the responsibility of the school. You know what I mean? And so that did start to take a toll on me. But I do realize that a lot of that stemmed from childhood and dealing with a lot of trauma for myself, right? Because I was abused growing up. By my father, and just growing up in that abusive household, seeing my mom being abused, seeing my, being abused myself, you know what I mean? Like that took a toll on me. And even like the, how I saw the world, right?
Yeah.
Really took a toll on me. So I commend anyone who is out there and you can handle that. Me, I can handle it to an extent, I would say.
Yes.
I do find it fascinating because I ended up writing, that's how we connected. I ended up writing a children's book based off my testimony. You know what I mean? Based off what happened to me as a child. And then you wrote this children's book. So what inspired you to write a children's book instead of like, maybe writing like a regular novel or a memoir?
Which is weird. And I'm going to say this because, for years, I've always written like adult content, whether it's short stories, a little bit of a novel here and there. And I never published anything. And so I wrote my first children's book, I think in 2009. I just typed it up, put it away, nothing fancy. It was cute story. Then after a while, I'll still write other things. And then the children books, they start flowing a lot more. And I don't know if that was God saying, oh no, you're going to write something. You're going to put out something. And everything I would write, via, whether it's inspirational things or anything, I would put it away. But the children book, this is what came first. And I don't know if I wasn't just being obedient or what. I just wasn't really sure about if writing was really going to pay off, I think that's what it was,
Right. So can you tell us a little bit more about Big Trucks?
Yes. So Big Truck, actually, this is so random. This is why I know it's random. I was in a car with my daughter in May of 2020, and I saw this semi truck going through the intersection. And the truck, I said, Big Truck, where are you going? My daughter repeated after me and said, Big Truck, where are you going? And so I asked him, do you know where do you think he's going? What do you think's in his truck? And I started to have a conversation about logistics and transportation and how it affects the economy and our communities. And so, I mean, not just semis, dump trucks, delivery trucks. We had a fun and great conversation about that. And I talked to her about this, and I figured like other kids may want to know about this as well, but I didn't want to bog them down with logistics and all that great stuff, but I wanted them to know about it, but in a fun way, and get them to start thinking about when they're at the store, when they go to the store, when they see a truck, whether it's a fire truck, anything, like what's happening with this truck? How is it serving us in the community?
That. Yes, I love that. So with your book, I know you've been doing a lot of stuff with schools, but you know what I just thought about? Have you did anything? I don't know. Somehow I was thinking like connecting that with like economics or economy.
Not yet, but I think that's a good area as well. I haven't yet, so that's a good idea, Bre. Thank you for that.
For real, like that just came to me because I was like, that'd be kind of something cool to like go into a social studies class and maybe kind of create like some type of workshop or something where like the kids can really do something with that. I think that'd be excellent. I mean, I don't know, it just came to me. I'd be flowing sometimes, but
yeah, I didn't show the book, but I just want to show it because it's so colorful. Like it's an amazing book. And it's actually a dump truck on the front of it. It's not a semi, because this character pretty much brought it to life, I think, Yeah. And Calvin Reynolds did the illustration.
Okay, yes. So what inspired you to be a writer? You said you've always loved writing and things like that. So is that just like a hobby or a passion of yours?
Honestly, I think it's a quiet passion. It's one of those things that you can do, but you think that you're better at other things. Hence me pursuing other areas as far as like counseling. And it's weird, Bre, that you said about I was actually a business major. Oh, wow. So I was not even listen, I'm with you with the mental health, not mental health, but like people's problems, right? And so, but I switched over from business to psychology, and I was almost done with my business degree, but I really like psychology. And so I pursued all those other interests, and I still would write, but I would just tuck it away. I would send out like these inspirational messages every morning to my family and friends and things like that. And I'll give them, they'll come back and say, so one of my friends always said, like, so you don't want your own like Hallmark cards or something like that? You don't want to do anything with this? I'm like, yeah, eventually I'm going to, but I was just pursuing everything else.
Right, right. I understand that. So have you
Yeah.
thought about writing like any books, like memoirs or just like any books for adults or anything? Or are you just gonna stick with the children's thing?
Um, Honestly, I have one novel in my mind. Like it's not done, but it's there. I have it, but I do have a couple novels that I've actually started and I haven't finished. And so I think eventually I will publish those. I do have a compilation of short stories, and maybe some of them I can branch them off and maybe make them novels as well.
Okay, that'll be
Yeah.
cool. So are you thinking like you like more like fiction than nonfiction writing?
Yeah, I like more fiction. I do. That way, you can do a little bit more, I feel like, with the characters. You know what I mean? Nonfiction, and it's the truth is the truth, So, but I definitely love fiction. I love, and I read everything, just about everything. Not so much romance, but I would say that fiction, I would probably write something more fiction wise.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I definitely understand that. Me, I want to do both. I want to write more fiction. There's still a couple
Okay.
within my children's book series I know I have to work on. But I also want to work on my memoir. And like I said, there's a couple other books I know God has graced me to write. And so I'm like, I love to write. Like that's just my passion. I love writing, but I also love to read. Like I'm a huge
Yes.
reader. Of course, growing up it was more fiction, but as I got older, I love like I'm reading all kind of books. Like I like, mainly a lot of like self-help books,
Yes.
a lot of books on faith, books on business, leadership, so just stuff that just like truly to help me to grow as a person. So do you read a lot of books too?
I do. Actually, I did get your children's book. I didn't post it yet, but I do have that. I read a lot. And many of the ones that you actually named, devotionals, faith-based, I read. I like mystery. I like mystery. I like a little bit of drama. I like that suspense. Love those. And then, of course, I do like a little bit of the sci-fi stuff as well. So I have a variety of things that I read, and of course, poetry I love, and so yeah, I love just about all books. I'm not a romance buff. It loses me. It loses me because I can't conceptualize what's happening in a lot of the scenes, and it seems so cheesy. So I just don't like it.
Oh wow, and it's funny because I know back in the day, before I got married, I would read like a lot of romance novels. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But
Yeah.
I feel like romance novels do get you caught up because you'll be sitting there having this ideology of who your person's supposed to be. And then when you get with somebody, you're like, hey, you ain't like how this book portrayed. But you supposed
Yes.
you know,
Exactly.
and so I feel like they set us up for unrealistic expectations,
Yeah.
but I'll read. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I do love a lot of rom-com movies. So
Hmm.
romance comedy movies. So I do
Right.
that. But I'll read it on occasion if it's something good.
It has right. It has to be something good, but I think that I realize how much it has affected me not liking it, because even in an action movie and they have a love story, and I'm like, I'll fast forward. I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Because we are in a crisis. We should not be kissing right now. You know what I mean? That's my mindset.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I do think like that too. Like, okay, come on, survival mode. That is so funny. So do you hear from a lot of your readers and stuff like that?
I do. I have actually I got a text yesterday regarding a teacher, my sister who lives in Savannah. Her neighbor's a teacher, and so she took the book to her class, she read it, and the parents sent her pictures and said, please get this to the author. And they were like, we love your book. It's amazing. I have people just all over reaching out saying this is an amazing book. I went to this corporate event recently, and this lady said, "Hey, I saw you in December, and I just want you to know that my grandkids love this book." And they have a drawing. She sent me an email, and he drew a picture of Big Truck, and I posted it on social media. And I happened to see her that same day, and I showed it to her, and we took a picture together. Excuse me, so she can show her grandson, "Hey, I told you I really know this author. I met her, you know." So yeah, I've been getting a lot of response saying that it's fun, it's educational, and kids are excited to hear about Big Truck, Big Truck. Yes.
Man, I love that, sis. Listen, I really do, girl. You need to make something like a workshop, family workshop or something with that. I
Something.
think something dope because I think the kids will love that, especially if you get all the little toys, you know how them boys are, get all the trucks and vehicles,
Yes.
like, yes, you know. So that's
Yes, I
dope.
agree.
I love that. I love that. So what do you like about being a children's book author?
I like it. I like, excuse me, I like being a children's book author because it helps you stay youthful, right? It helps you look at things through a child's eyes and realize that, you know, we can definitely take life serious, but also still have fun while we're learning, while we're growing. Um, and with kids, you know, they're like sponges. So that it is very intriguing to me. So I am always just in awe of children and watching them and seeing them develop. You know, it's just such a beautiful thing. And so I think that there's always a lot of material there to write with.
Amen. Amen. I love that. I love that. Yeah, I love
Yes.
being I don't just like to call myself a children's book writer, but because that's like my first books that I've written. Yeah, I love writing children's books. For that very reason alone too. And especially when you start to go to the different trade shows and the book tours and you meet the kids and they
Yes.
are like interacting with you and they're interacting with the book. You know, I love it. And just
Yes.
families come together. I absolutely love that.
I agree. I agree.
So as a child, what did you want to do when you grew up?
So I would say that I don't know. I take it back. I do know. So I wanted to be a lawyer or a coroner. I know that's so random. So I love science and math growing up, but I also love reading and I love words and the way that they tie together and how they can help develop a wonderful story. But I honestly probably would have gone to law school. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I could see you being a lawyer too. For sure. For sure. Yeah. I don't. As a child, I wanted to be so many things. I don't think I was ever consistent. That's my mom. She was like, "Hey, you jump around from thing to thing." She'd be like, I'm gonna play this flute. Play the flute. I don't want that. I'm gonna do the violin. I'm telling you, it just
Oh
kept.
wow.
But I appreciate that because I feel like I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades. I will say the
That's
thing
good.
stuck with me consistently was definitely doing stuff in ministry and then definitely doing business and writing.
Okay.
I will say, and which is
Those
what I
are your areas. Okay.
yeah, and so I definitely do appreciate that. Love that. Yes, I do. Okay, girl. Well, is there anybody you would like to shout out or anything like that?
I would say my daughter. She's amazing, amazing, amazing. She's absolutely an inspiration to me. Just to not only continue to pave the way for her, as many people have done for you and myself. She's always my cheerleader. She's always encouraging me, and she's probably the first person that made me introduce myself as a writer, as
Oh,
an author. I'm serious. Well, as an author, I should say. I remember we were somewhere, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you know, my name's Rae," and she was just like, and they were asking me what did I do, and I was telling them about counseling, right? And she's like, "Oh no, she's an author. No, no, she's an author. Her name
wow.
is Rae Lee. Her book is Big Truck, Big Truck, and she writes great stuff. And like this is I'm like she's 8.
Yes. Go, mama. Yes. I love it. I love
Yes.
it. I'm telling you, at that age, it's like you got so much empowerment and power. You like, look, no, like I'm
Yes.
gonna tell you. And I love it. And I just wish as adults we still kept that same energy, right? And that same belief.
Yes.
And I know it's because, as you get older, you realize what life is and you go through trials and tribulations. But it's just like to keep that childlike wonder and excitement.
Yes.
I love that. I do. So where can everybody get your book?
Yes, you can get Big Truck on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and Books a Million. Yep.
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Rae. I appreciate it, girl. And you are always welcome back in the future for any other projects that you are doing. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Bree. It's always great to see you, and we'll talk soon.
Yes,
Thanks for having me.
yes, no problem. Well, thank you guys for watching the Author Push Talk Show today. It's been a great, amazing day. Please connect with me. I would love to hear any testimonies that you guys have, or if there's any authors out there that is interested in being on the show, please connect with me. You can do so at my email address, which is bresmithglobal@gmail.com. Please feel free to look me up on IG. It is Bre Smith Official. And also, please feel free to look me up on my Facebook page, Author Push Media Services. So you can look that up as well. So once again, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.